I'm not that old.
So John, one of the things that you were going to tell her was about why the plastic is there.
Yes, the plastic is up there to prevent water from going into the soil because, as you know, there's been an issue with fissures forming up there and the fill starting to pull away from the uncut grade there.
Uh-huh. And what's the plastic supposed to do?
Prevent the water that falls on the hillside from going into the soil.
All right. And what else?
What was the other thing we talked about when we were up there? Well, he was talking about that they'd done partial grade and stuff like that. I don't know if you would be interested in that. And I did want to point out that that's where the original landslide was that I recorded, and that's when the original stop work order had. So I've got documentation of what it looked like before then. And I just wanted to point out, if you look at that hillside there, and the hillside there, you can see the steepness. And also, I just, while you're out here, wanted, because one of the things we've noticed the MVP is trying to do is get variances to bore under the streams because of that recent ruling with the judge. And look at all the wetlands here, and look at the steepness there. I mean, like I was saying, my background's in energy investments. This just doesn't make sense. So I just wanted to show the lay of the land. Is there anything else, man? Is there, like, what else did we talk about when we were there? We talked about the partial grade and that they did it according to the plan that was drawn up by the Mountain Valley Pipeline. Is that right? So the plans were drawn up by Mountain Valley Pipeline, not by the DEQ. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so then you all, when you come out here, are just verifying that they're doing what was in the plans.
Installed per the plans, and any subsequent red lines, which are field modifications, typically upgrades. Typically anything that's not upgrade, you can always add more controls, no question. Mark it on the plan, show it, go on. Anything that major changes, wanting to do something completely new or eliminate a control, has to go back through engineering review. They do it, submit it, DEQ reviews it.
Yeah.
And you're welcome to speak, John, if you want, or I can.
Yeah,
I'm not
I
trying
just
to
want to
tread on you.
add one little more bit of detail to what you described as a process before anything got started. That Mountain Valley's engineers did the original erosion control plan. They submitted it to DEQ, and then DEQ had a third-party engineering group review those plans and make comments on those plans, as did the DEQ people.
And that is not us. We are independent from the ones that reviewed those plans. It's not us. We didn't.
I can understand why you're qualifying that. I really can. So there's a Clean Water Act, and right now they're under criminal investigation by, not you all, but the Mountain Valley Pipeline is under investigation for violating the Clean Water Act. I've been continuously documenting since last July that the pollution from the project keeps entering our waterways where there's endangered species. But your all's roles is just to come out here and see, are they doing what was in the plans? Is it like, like you said, like the chain hasn't, like the fence hasn't been blown away or something
Exactly.
like that.
Under control structure.
And then if that has happened, you tell them to fix it. But otherwise, it looks like it goes up higher than where we are right now. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate, I know it's a long drive for you to come out here from Richmond. I appreciate you coming out here.
Yeah, it's worth it to me if I've been able to shed some light on things and alleviate some of your concerns.
Yeah, so I just want to make sure that my takeaway is correct, that you all are monitoring the situation, comparing it to the plans that are there, and then that's...
Well, to clarify, so once we know something's installed as it's shown on the plans, then it moves from verifying that it's installed as shown to verifying that it's installed like it's supposed to in accordance with standards, it's being maintained, it's still functioning. Like, for instance, like I said, if we saw silt fence, it's unentrenched, if it's daylight underneath it and it's not coming through it, that's something we go fix this. If it's over 50% capacity, we say it's at 50% capacity, clean it out,
So is there anything in the plans that say or qualify that the intention of the plans is to keep pollution out of the streams?
I'd have to look back through the general notes and a plan set to see. Typically, there's not a intent on the plans. It's just
The whole plans are developed in accordance with the stormwater and erosion control regulations. And the regulations are really the tool that are used on this project and every other construction project in the state to ensure, an unreasonable degradation of waterways or private property. So I don't know if you will find a sentence that's succinct that says the intent is to prevent pollution. Yeah, it is. But it's also, the intent is also to prevent damage to off-site property. Even when there's no environmental issue, the erosion control regulations are still there to protect property as well as the environment.
Well, and we have the Clean Water Act, and so I homeschooled my 4 boys before they went to college, so I'm one proud mama that the ones graduating today from Tech and others from UVA. And I'll tell you what I told them. I don't know what to tell you to know, but you have to learn. Because you are going to face problems that we can't imagine are going to be faced. And right now, where we are with this project continuing to pollute where there's endangered species, the Roanoke log perch, in the middle of a pandemic, we need to figure it out, and we need to figure it out fast. So I just wanted to thank you so much for coming out here today and meeting with you. If you could see if there's something like that, if it's not there, it seems like something that would be good to have. And hopefully, as Governor Cuomo would do, let's build it back better. Okay.
Well, I can tell you when we see something on this project, even if it's a control that's put in according to plan, if it's not effective, we get together with Mountain Valley and we upgrade that to something that's going to work better.
I just want to say, one of the reasons why I haven't reported quickly all the way along is because a lot of times when I report, they come out here and they do something that, in my viewpoint, and I document later, makes it worse. So let's be cautious. Again, like Governor Cuomo said, and let's use science. Let's do this carefully, because what we have right now is a mess, and we have continuous pollution. You can see if we get those thunderstorms this weekend, it's going to happen again. It just is with what this is. I can tell you that. So it's not acceptable. We're going to need to figure it out, and we're going to need to do it right. But let's be careful that they don't just come in here with some digger hose up there and compact the soil further and make the problem worse. Because I will be so upset and feel so responsible. I would have wished I just kept my mouth shut there. So I'd like to build trust and work. And I'm not the scientist. She's a scientist. There's other people that have been working on this that are looking at it. So let's move cautiously and in a way that's going to make sense and do it right, please.
Well,
She's not doing it at all.
for what it's worth,
She's not doing it.
I just want to assure you that DEQ, we're doing everything to the limits of our authority to keep this project in compliance with the regulations, in compliance with the approved plan. And we're working with Mountain Valley to improve places where what's on the plan is just not effective.
Okay.
There are limits to that, and we have to work within those limits of authority that we have been given by the legislature.
Yeah, but
Clean
DEQ has
Water Act,
enforcement.
that's federal, so DEQ doesn't have power to enforce that.
DEQ has power to enforce anything. This is Virginia.
Yeah, I think we're getting above our pay grade again.
Yeah, but if you,
I'm going to try and go by. Man, I was hoping before you left, because you've got that cool fish thing. I wanted to do something for Endangered Species Day, so I'm going to back out. Are you guys going to back out of here then?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to try and back out. Backing out in tree is a pain in the butt. But I will try and back out. And then, if I could meet with you.
yeah,
Okay.
Do you have my contact information? I've got a
Do you
card
have
to
his
give you.
contact
I do.
information?
Okay.
I can send that over. I'll
Yeah,
send you the other
I-
stuff we discussed.
I prefer to do it that way than.
Okay, that's
I know we
fine.
used to shake hands and give cards.
Right,
and stuff
right,
like that,
right,
but
right.
it's different time and place.
Yeah.
Are you seeing what Frida showed you up there? Are you seeing adequate erosion control?
We see the measures are installed properly. We've seen some measures that do need some maintenance to really make them as effective as they can be. As you know, erosion control measures, they degrade over time,
Man, you
and they
know,
need to be constantly inspected and maintained.
Go that way and then that way. I'm gonna get to my car. It's gonna take me a while to back up, I can promise you that. 'Cause backing up in the pre-16, but.
What about all the slips that have been happening that were this pipeline
All right.
completed
I'll
and
see you
gas is
there.
running
Thank
through
you.
it would cause a massive explosion?
Elbow bump you,
Does
but-
DEQ care about that?
Thanks.
About the catastrophic failure of this pipeline? Or are you just, checking little boxes here? Because, people who live around here are gonna
I'll
be
catch
affected.
up to
I
you,
understand
Frida.
you don't live around here. You live around in Richmond, so
You're
you don't
gonna
give a fuck
back
what
up
happens.
and I'll come
You
back.
ready, John?
Yeah.
Ms. Cathcart, it's been a great meeting.
So,
Is there
Are
anything
you-
else I
yeah,
can do
are
for
you-
you while I'm here?
yeah, are you guys gonna beef up, as you put it? Are you gonna beef up what Frida showed you so that this doesn't happen, so this road dries out?
We're going to have the maintenance done where the controls need to be maintained. But I
Okay.
didn't see anything that called for enhanced controls other than what's there.
What about here and down the road? Where when it floods, it's just going right over the top of these socks.
That's what it does. That's how compost filter socks work. They have a certain capacity, and when you get a gully washer, they overflow.
They
The same
always
way a silt
overflow.
fence does, the same way a sediment trap does, the same way a sediment basin does.
Well, seems to me you need a little
Yeah,
extra
you're saying
something because
these things
it's
that are
still
installed properly
muddy
are
water
properly
going
not working.
into the creek, and the creek is the home of the Roanoke log perch. And they rely on the insects in the creek and clean, polished rocks. Right now is their spawning time. They're having a hard time making babies because there's so much mud in the creek, so much sediment in the creek. So, just for April and May and a little bit of June, yeah, I really recommend that you, even though I'm doing your job and your job, you guys should have stamped it bad.
We didn't review those plans, like we said.
But
Yeah,
still,
you can stand up
need
as
to
human beings,
need
though.
to
That's
stop
the
the
thing.
muddy water. You've just got to stop the
Your
muddy
job
water.
title beside the point. You're still
from going
fucking
into
humans,
that.
and you're still fucking over the earth. You have a responsibility to something higher than your fucking paycheck. Okay?
Yeah.
You fucking too. And the people around here are going to be affected by that. And you don't give a shit because you just get a paycheck. You don't really care.
So,
I think we
You
met
don't.
with Ms. Cathcart.
Tell me you fucking care.
Sir, you don't know me, so you can think what you want about me.
I can judge you by your actions.
If it were going to develop
And
to a
I'm
personal
judging you
level,
by
I
your
recommend we
actions.
go ahead and move on.
Which
So-
needs to be
Please
piss
do.
poor.
Please do.
if you could do something to stop the muddy water, that would be great. At least the mud can get filtered out. Whether you need another row of these silk socks, whatever it takes to filter out more mud. Sure, and if it's going to overtop it, go up another ring.
Well, I mean, think about that a little bit. We had another stack here.
Yep.
What's it going to do?
Oh, it's going to make a mess. It's all going to make a mess.
It's going to flood this road.
Yeah, we should just not build the pipeline, regrow the trees there, the best erosion control. The thing is, none of this is going to work. I'm not about just doing it, building it better. Don't build it at all. It's going to fail, and it's going to fail catastrophically.
Yeah.
These landslides, these slips that are occurring, if the pipeline was in service, would cause a massive fucking explosion.
It would certainly be a mess. But you can do something about holding back the water until the mud settles out. And that's the whole idea. And if it doesn't work here because this road is now too narrow, you're going to have to put it up on the right-of-way. You're going to have to put your water control structures, your water retention, that may have to get cleaned out every other day. You don't have much room here to put your erosion control, so it needs to go back on the right-of-way. You need to hold that water back up there. All because this is convenient doesn't make it right. Obviously, it's not right. All right, you guys want to do your job, and you want to do it well, and I'll be back to see that it is done right. I'll be back to make sure that it's not muddy getting into the Roanoke Log Perch Creek. That's what everybody wants, right? You want to hold back that mud, de-water it, let that clear water come onto this road, let that clearer water pass through these socks. It can be done. It can be done. It's just water retention on the right-of-way, not water retention here. You know that's right.
You know, I don't want to get into a long discussion now, but that is not right.
Okay,
If you want to give me a call sometime, we can talk about erosion control on linear developments.
yeah. You know you got to get the mud off of here, and you know you've got to get the mud out of the creek, and that is your job. And as inspectors, that's your goal. That's your goal. So, happy Endangered Species Day. I'm going that way. I don't know which way you guys are going. Good luck. Good luck. And I don't know what to say about global security.